What's up everybody, this is Eric from GameShampoo.com. I'm here with my trusty laptop early this Thursday morning to discuss the Wii U and launch information, new titles, etc. Nintendo's been talking hot mess about this thing over in New York. For those of you who haven't been paying the closest of attention, Nintendo did a press conference at 10 a.m. New York time, which 7 a.m. over here in San Francisco. So I had to get up early and dress, feed, and bathe myself by 6:30 a.m. like a normal, high-functioning adult human being. Just asking entirely too much of me, Nintendo. Speaking of asking too much, the Wii U will launch in a $300 basic edition and a $350 deluxe edition on November 18th, 2012. Now, what will these editions get you? Well, let's take a look at this nifty laptop for fact-checking info. The basic edition will come with an HDMI cable, a gamepad controller, and a sensor bar, along with an AC adapter, and the console itself, obviously. And that is, again, going to be $300 bucks. Now, the deluxe edition is going to be the black console that we've seen in early images, ads, that kind of thing. The basic set is just going to be white for now. Now, the deluxe edition comes with everything that's in the basic edition, so no need to worry about that stuff. It also comes with a copy of Nintendo Land, still not specified whether that's on a disc or installed directly to the system, or maybe a download code, who knows. And it'll come with a larger hard drive, internal memory, and a gamepad charging cradle and a stand. Now, word on the street has that larger hard drive pegged at around 32 gigabytes, which just seems paltry when you compare it to the 120 and 250, etc. gigabytes that are on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Of course, that's assuming that you'll have something to download from the Nintendo eShop. Oh snap! Damn! No games on the eShop. That's what I'm trying to say. It will be interesting to see if Nintendo's big initiative to make internet and online play more of a thing on the Wii U will be negatively impacted by that tiny hard drive. Because, I don't see things like New Super Mario Bros. U being too big. It's basically like an up-res GameCube game. But stuff like, say, the newly announced Bayonetta 2, published by Nintendo, that might take its memory toll on the system. That's right, Bayonetta 2. This is actually one of the most exciting pieces of news to come out of the conference. Nintendo is publishing Bayonetta 2 exclusively on the Wii U. And they showed off a little teaser trailer, nothing more than that, which is exciting news. Now, the optimist in me says that Nintendo is going to use this to kind of champion a return to publishing games for core gamers. They have this expensive console, at least compared to what the Wii was at $250, and they need to justify it to people who are, naturally going to be shelling out that kind of cash for this thing anyway. But the cynic in me says that they're just using this to get core gamers to shell out $300 bucks for a console, and then they're just going to shell out some crap. The teaser trailer that they showed off at their conference this morning was maybe like 20 or 30 seconds long, had no gameplay in it. It was basically just a picture of a foot, stiletto with the telltale little gun heel thing that she's got going on, and Bayonetta 2 Wii U exclusive. So based on that, I don't think it's fair to expect that game to come out anytime before holiday 2013 at the earliest. It's definitely given off the vibes of still being kind of an early project. And industry analyst Michael Pachter predicts that we will in fact see a Wii U price cut by the end of 2013, and I don't think you need to have a crystal ball to see that one coming. I mean, we're going to have probably new consoles releasing next holiday, which means that Nintendo is going to want to stay competitive when these arguably much more powerful consoles are on shelves next to it. Either way, Bayonetta 2 coming eventually to the Wii U. Exciting news, no matter how you look at it, really. Also exciting, Nintendo TV, spelled TVII, like the Wii, which, you know, that's great. Nintendo is kind of awesome. This is basically Nintendo's answer to Netflix, Amazon, Hulu streaming, etc. on the Xbox and the PlayStation. And you know, I haven't gotten any hands-on time with it, so I cannot say on an official basis, but this looks preferable at the least to the current setups that we have on Xbox, PS3, etc., because it actually integrates all of those streaming services into one thing that you have in your tablet, in your hand, and it can stream from that tablet to the television as well. So, you know, you'll have stuff like Netflix, Hulu Plus, Amazon Instant, TiVo even, AMC On Demand. I think I caught a glimpse of HBO Go on one of the menus, but they didn't officially say anything about that. And they'll all be integrated into this one core app called Nintendo TV, which uses your tablet's touchscreen as kind of the main interface to here. I need room to gesticulate. Basically, you take the tablet and you can, you know, brush across the touchscreen to go through the various selections on the app like you would with a normal tablet, like an iPad or an Android tablet right now. And basically what it'll do is it'll sync up all of these different mobile apps. So you can stream Netflix on it, you can stream Amazon on it, you can tell your TiVo to record remotely from your Wii U tablet, and basically choose what shows you want to watch or save them directly to the tablet for in a queue, basically for later viewing. Let's see what else we got here. You can stream stuff directly to your TV. Yeah, we have the live television integration, which is very exciting. They demonstrated it mostly with sports, but they also started watching a live episode of American Family on there. I think that's what the show is. Modern Family. I don't watch TV really. So they showed it off with a little bit of NHL action, NFL, live sports, that kind of stuff, and later brought that over to Modern Family. And basically what you can do as you're watching live television is watch it on your television, stream it there, and then stream content such as live polls, Twitter feeds, that kind of thing to the tablet in your hand, which ideally will augment what you're watching on TV. So, you know, you can watch Modern Family and then people will be like, Modern Family sucks, lol, on your Twitter feed or whatever, and you're like, okay. But it definitely looks like it'll be bringing a more social kind of bend to watching TV, which is cool. And you know, it kind of falls in with what Nintendo's been doing lately, trying to get a little more social, get things a little more integrated. Also exciting, Nintendo TV can be personalized for every member of the household. So you'll select a Wii, or a Mii, and that Mii will kind of correspond to multiple profiles on the system. So when you go and pick up Nintendo TV, you select your Mii and it says, okay, you want to watch like Breaking Bad and True Blood, and then it recommends, you know, the latest episodes and recommends shows that maybe you haven't watched yet, that kind of thing. And then when your kid comes in, you select his Mii and it says like, go watch Nickelodeon Kid or whatever. And as you browse through those shows, you'll actually see links to Wikipedia articles and IMDb articles at the top on this little taskbar at the top of the screen on your tablet. And by clicking on those, you can navigate to those pages on those respective sites, and catch up on plot information, casting information, that kind of thing. So if you're watching a movie and you're just like, who is that actor? Like, I cannot think of who that actor is. You click on IMDb thing and they'll tell you, which is nifty. Looks genuinely interesting. I'm not sure in execution if it'll be really that much more practical than the smart TV you've got right behind the camera, which already kind of does that. It has the hub page, like here's Hulu, Amazon, Vudu, Netflix, etc. But it doesn't have quite the social aspect of it all. So after that, Nintendo talked games, and it's definitely better than what they had at E3. So that's a start. First of all, we got Black Ops 2 coming to the Wii U. Not the biggest surprise in the world. We've seen pre-order cards at Best Buys. We've seen box art and web pages leaked for it and stuff. We knew it was coming eventually, but it's nice to have the confirmation. And they showed off a stage demo of that, which was interesting because it had one player playing on a tablet and another player playing on the television instead of the traditional split screen. So, unless you're a real jackass and you want to just like blatantly lean over people, pretty much eliminates screen watching, which is nice. And even in kind of this online age, I definitely prefer playing split screen with people. So, that's an interesting inclusion. And you can also use the tablet to manage your kill streaks, your classes, your loadouts, and that kind of thing. Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate was just announced for the Wii U and the 3DS as well. And Capcom followed up with us on that and announced that it would be coming in March 2013. The interesting thing here is that the Wii U and the 3DS can actually communicate with each other. So the progress that you have on one will communicate over to the other one, transfer over so that you don't have to do all that stuff over again. It's a nifty idea, but in practice I feel like it'll only really work out if they do like Sony did, and with a lot of their cross-play Vita PS3 titles, and say, okay, you bought the game on the Wii U, here's a digital copy or something like that for the 3DS, so you don't have to go out and buy both of them to augment that experience. And then finally, they talked a little bit of Nintendo Land, they talked a little bit of New Super Mario Bros. U. A lot of what they said we had actually already reported on a few days ago. They have the Metroid minigame for Nintendo Land, which is kind of like a light shooting game for multiple players. One player's up in a ship, the other player's down in kind of this maze with the traditional Metroid armory. And they talked about hub worlds in New Super Mario Bros. U. So if you ever played Super Mario World, which if you haven't, what's wrong with you? You'll remember the big branching hub worlds that connected each of the levels and had tons of secrets and shops and stuff like that. And that'll be making a return in New Super Mario Bros. U, which is awesome. The one thing that they did talk about there that we hadn't talked about already was this concept of challenges in the game. And basically, these challenges are going to be secondary objectives that you have to complete for bonus points. You don't necessarily have to complete them to beat the levels, but for hardcore players or players who want to really test their skills, it's a good option. And the example they gave was get through a level without ever touching the ground, which certainly sounds interesting. They also talked about new power-ups and kind of old power-ups that we're going to be getting new flavors, sort of. With the big example being the mini mushroom, which now allows Mario to run across bodies of water. I think that's pretty much everything big for the Wii U. I guess they talked about Project P100 a little bit as well. It's now going to be known as the Wonderful 101. That is the official title of the game, no longer P100 working title. And it still looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's just about everything that Nintendo talked about regarding the Wii U. I guess I should bring up the Activision stuff as well, which I totally put up on here, but I don't see it. But Activision talked about a few of the things that they've got coming to the Wii U. Mostly just kind of your standard. There we go. Most just kind of your standard stuff. They're not developing anything exclusively for the Wii U. But like I said before, they've got Black Ops 2. They also have Skylanders, Giants, Transformers Prime, and Wipeout 3. Wipeout 3 being the game show, not the awesome Sony racing title, the developer of which was recently canned. So that's Activision's lineup, and they're all pegged for launch window, just like everything else we saw today. That launch window spans until March 2013, so don't expect all this stuff to be rushing out right away. Could be a while, or maybe not. So that's really going to be it for Serious this time. That is basically everything that Nintendo talked about at their conference today. Of course, we will have more information on all this stuff for you as it becomes available, and we'll be covering the Wii U at its launch November 18th, 2012. We're going to have the deluxe edition, $350, and hopefully we're going to be getting Scribblenauts Unlimited, Batman, Arkham City Armored Edition, New Super Mario Bros. U, and the Zombie U. That's the other one. So look for coverage of the system, review of the system, unboxing, and reviews of the launch titles in November.